Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. So I wanted to do a really quick TA on the S&P 500 just because I have been hedging ever since the last day of March, and I have SPY puts. But I wanted to just let you guys know where I think SPY is actually going to and where I think it can keep dropping to on the lower on possibly this week till the next week and see what happens. As of right now, we did create a continuation on the bear side. So we did bear, bull, bear. So it means we are going to be continuing to the downside. You see this downward pressure. I mean, obviously we're already hitting lows. We already beat relative lows, right? So we're at 446, which is relatively not very good for the S&P 500. But again, I don't think we're going to be we're going to be doing a full crash, right? I think because we do have a lot of momentum on our side, I do think we can recover. Last time we actually had a perfect sell on the daily, we dropped around, $39.64, right? As of right now, if we do that same kind of move, we'll do it right here. We can expect somewhere along the lines in 14 days, 39.64. I think this is going to be a little bit too low, 39.64. I actually don't think we're going to be dropping this low. This can possibly be one target, but I think what can happen is I think because we did end up breaking relative highs. This is my drawing, so here we go. We did break this relative high, and we also broke this double top that was created back on, like February, like mid-February-ish, right? So you did actually break both relative highs, which is really, really good for the bull momentum side, which makes me think that we're not going to drop this low. We actually also do have a trend on the stochastic, which I think will probably will probably be respected, I think. And I think around this level, I think you'll probably see, on the stochastic, you'll probably see this come down to here, hit trend, and then probably run back up like that, right? But if you do actually end up breaking the stochastic, then I 100% think that we're going back down to these levels where we saw like 420-ish or whatever, which was within 14 days, right? So we'll put two scenarios on here. I think it was where's the drop from here, 14 days all the way down to 39.64, like 39.50, whatever, that's fine, somewhere around this area within 14 days. So if we actually end up breaking this trend on the stochastic, I do think we'll see 419, 420 basically, right? I do think we'll be able to go all the way down here. But as what I see right now, because we actually broke relative highs right here, I do think that the likelihood of us dropping this low is very unlikely. I think, and we're also going to be creating a gap right now between 446 and that 451-ish where you actually ended up closing yesterday. So I think more than likely you'll do something like this, where you'll come down to 438 and then rebound and then come back up to like here somewhere. That's what I think is a more likelihood thing to happen. Especially, like I said, because you broke relative highs from March 2nd and also like February, like early February, right? So I think this is the more likely scenario where you actually drop down to 438 and then run back up and fill that gap and then push, right? But also, if you run back up and you don't break this 452 level, 453, then obviously there's another chance for us to go all the way down. So we do need to break that. But I think as of right now, it's very likely that we're headed to 438, right? Like very, very likely that we're probably going all the way back down to 438. If on the stochastic we end up breaking this trend, I think we're going all the way back to 420. But I do think as of right now, we're going to see a bounce from 438 back up to 452. And then if 452 doesn't get broken, we're probably going to create a higher low and then come back down to 438. So there's a lot of things that can happen. Personally, right now, I think that we are going to be, we'll do something like this, right? Something like that. And then possibly, there's way too many things that can happen right now. But I think scenario one is coming back down to 438 and then rebounding back up to previous relative highs. Scenario two would be coming back down to 438, coming back up to 452, and then now breaking that, creating a higher low, and then coming all the way back down to 438, possibly lower to 420-ish or so, right? If it actually bounces, doesn't break 452 and creates that higher low, the likelihood of us actually coming back down here to 420 gets extremely, extremely likely, right? The probability wise, there's a big chance that it can happen. And also, if trend breaks on the stochastic, there's more than likely you're coming all the way down to 420 years. So as of right now, I'd say like there's a 70 out of like maybe 4 scenarios. 3 of those actually put us back at 420, whereas only one of those actually puts us back to these relative highs of like 460-ish that we just hit recently, right? We went to 462 March 29th. So one scenario puts us back at 461. 3 scenarios puts us back at like, either 438 again or all the way down to 420. So we have a maybe 25% chance of actually pushing to the upside and a 75% chance of actually coming back down to 438 and also further down to 420. So right now, definitely more bearish than bullish. Especially, oh man, even the weekly looks funky. Yeah. I would definitely say that if you have puts, hold on to them for a little bit longer. I'm personally going to be selling these maybe at open, depending on where IV is at, where premium's at, how much they're worth. And then also, I might keep some to run to 438, but more than likely I'm going to be in profit already. I mean, I'm already in profit, but more than likely it's going to push up a little bit more and I don't want to risk any more money. So I'll probably take it out at open. But I think right now the likelihood of us being bearish is about 75%. Whereas we only have one scenario where it can actually land us a bullish price, and maybe in the next 2 weeks or so, right? But we'll see. As of right now, yeah, I think I'm pretty bearish on the S&P 500, and there's 3 out of 4 scenarios are basically pointing down, either down to 438 or down even lower to 420ish. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.